Jen, I gotta tell you, sometimes it feels good to cry like that every once in a while.
It sure does. Hey, by the way, what were you crying about?
I was crying because you were crying. Why were you crying?
I was crying because you were crying.
That's weird, but okay. I guess it sets up our Bible story for today. It's about a prophet of God named Jeremiah. He was known as the weeping prophet because he had so many sad things happen in his life. In fact, Jeremiah wrote a whole book of the Bible called Lamentations.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. The name Lamentations comes from the word lament, which means to weep or cry. It's a whole book of the Bible where Jeremiah cries out to God.
That's right, and he had a lot to cry about. To begin with, God told Jeremiah to warn the nation of Judah that the Babylonian Empire was coming to destroy them. But no matter what he did, no one would listen to Jeremiah. They called him a liar. Then when it came true, the Babylonians attacked. The leaders of Judah blamed Jeremiah and threw him in prison. But then things got even worse. You know what? Instead of me telling you about it, why don't you read it for yourself? Press pause and read the verses on the screen, and then join us again when you're finished.
Isn't that crazy? The people of Judah threw Jeremiah into a muddy well. Ugh! And even though they eventually pulled him out, they still kept him under house arrest.
That's right. And then things got even worse because eventually the Babylonians break down the walls of Judah and they steal or destroy everything. And they take most of the people back to Babylon as prisoners.
Man, that's rough. Jeremiah must have felt like he was being crushed with sadness.
Seriously though, you know what? That gives me an idea for a challenge. All right, Jen. So, in the studio, you said that Jeremiah was crushed with sadness. So I've got a great challenge. Everyone is going to have to crush 15 cans. The first person to crush all 15 cans wins. The loser has to jump in a muddy well. But check this out. I couldn't find a muddy well, but I did find a baby pool with 20 gallons of chocolate pudding in it. Woo, woo, woo!
Okay, did you drink all the soda from these cans before we started?
Why?
You're just a little excited there, Jeremy.
All right, let's go.
And where did we find this chocolate pudding?
You just find it. It's that kind of stuff just lays around. All right, Jen. First to crush all 15 cans wins. Loser jumps in the pudding well. 3, 2, 1, go! Jen, I thought trying to gather them all together and crush them at once was going to work, but it wasn't. So I guess I'd lose a challenge. It is weird that there's 20 gallons of pudding over here. So, all right, I guess it's time to throw myself in it. Jen just served me a crushing defeat. Take a look at this empty can. When really sad things happen to us, we feel kind of empty inside, like all of our joy is gone. And once we feel empty inside, it's easy for the sadness to crush our spirit, just like we crush these cans. But here's the good news. When we feel like that, the Bible says that God is close to us. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. Isn't that awesome? When we feel like we're being crushed by sadness, God is close to us. He fills us with His Spirit and we become like this full can of soda. Look what happens when sadness tries to crush us. There is no way Jen can crush this thing. This is what God does for us when we're sad. He fills us up and keeps us from being crushed by sadness. Man, this is awesome. And it makes me think of our first discussion question. When was the last time you were really sad? Press pause and discuss.
Great discussion. Now I've got a question for you. What do you think God could do for you when you're feeling crushed by sadness? Press pause.
And discuss.
All right, thank you guys for joining us today. We'll catch you next week. Gonna finish that pudding?
Oh yeah.